Hi Retro Gamer, how are you doing? In this video I'm going to talk about games that I love in my beloved Spectrum, but I never finished when I was a kid. I'm not saying that all these games are particularly hard, but for some reason I never been able to finish when I was a kid. Now, before you start, if you also love retro gaming, don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell, so you don't miss a thing. Switchblade. Switchblade is a side-scrolling action platform game. We play with a character named Hiro in the flip screen involvement, where unexplored areas of the screen are obscured from the view. We are also fight bosses that are blocking the path in order to proceed further. I love this game since I was a kid, but I never finish it because the enemies are tough and the game is long. I also remember to die many times jumping through fire in the ground. I did a little research and I must have stayed in the middle of the game maybe. Army Moves. Army Moves is a scrolling shooter. I remember to love this game when I was a kid. We start the game driving a jeep equipped with missiles through a bridge. We must destroy other jeeps and also helicopters, and because that's not enough, we also must jump to avoid falling in the zones that the bridge is broken. In the second level, we control a helicopter that also fires missiles. This level for me was almost impossible, because the enemy planes always comes from weird angles. The third level we also fly in the helicopter, and because the second level it wasn't hard enough. In the third level we also must fight against submarines. The fourth level is similar to the third, but even harder. The last level we are on foot armed with a gun, through a swamp, until we reach the enemy base and finish the game. I only passed the first level a few times, and it wasn't for not trying, but because the game is very hard. Spike in Transylvania. I love this game, and I remembered that this game had very good reviews in the magazines at the time. The game is a mix of puzzles and action. The action involves we dodging various enemies such as dogs, ghosts, bats, and avoiding the many traps in the castle. We only have a limited amount of energy. If we lose all of it by touching enemies or trap, we lose a life. The game is like a 2D Resident Evil for the Spectrum. We need to find the correct objects to open doors and to resolve puzzles. The puzzles are not hard, to be honest, they are simple. We must use objects such as money to suborn a guard and switches that performs various functions such as deactivating traps. Keys are very important and they are needed to unlock our shipmate cells. Some cells are protected by guards who must be tempted away somehow to get to the cells they are guarding. Like I said, the game is not hard. But when I was a kid my English wasn't that good, still isn't. And at the time we didn't have the internet or YouTube to see how it's done. It is good, because that kills the magic of the game. Now I already finished the game more than once, but when I was a kid I never be able to finish it. Bubble Bobble. There's not much to say about Bubble Bobble. Everybody knows this game. This is one of the most popular arcade games ever made and one of the best games ever. And the Spectrum port was very faithful to the arcade. This is one of the games that I play more in the Spectrum, most of the times in 2-player mode. Now by this time you must be asking, if you play so much why you didn't finish? And the answer is, because the game has almost 100 levels and we take an hour to finish it, with no save points or passwords. The far I go at the time was maybe 50 or 55. The game is long, but now I realize that it's not that hard. We must plan very good our strategy to position our characters and memorize the enemy pattern. The worst thing was if we lose a life we also lose the fast and long bubbles, and without the two our character is much weaker. Thor. I love Marvel since I was a kid, and Thor is my favorite superhero after Spider-Man. And of course, I had to buy this game. In this game we must destroy all the eggs to proceed and finish the game. I love games that combine platforms and action as Bruce Lee and Darkman, but unfortunately this game don't have the quality of those two. Thor can hit the enemies with his hammer and throw thunder. The game is short, we only take about 20 minutes to finish, but enemies are fast and it's easy to get lost in the castle. Some jumps are almost impossible to do. We must calculate the timing very well. When I was a kid, the first time I played, I always lose in the beginning, and just insisting a lot is that I started to proceed in the game. But even insisting and playing a lot, I never managed to finish. I know there are much better Spectrum games, but I still like this game today. So, how about you gamers? There is any Spectrum game that you never been able to finish when you were a kid? Please let me know in the comments. Please take care and see you in the next video.